Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hi, this is Amy Pastor, and I am really happy to introduce you to today's guest, Dr. Bill Philpot. Bill is a doctor of Oriental medicine, acupuncture physician, and licensed massage therapist. Bill was initially introduced into the healing arts by the laying on of hands, and due to the outstanding results obtained from the treatments given, he felt directed into the healing arts profession as a better way to serve the community. Upon completing the training in massage therapy as a natural healthcare practitioner, Bill was open to further training in neuromuscular therapy and neuromuscular re-education. In addition to those excellent modalities, he's also trained in osteopathic styles of rehabilitation, including craniosacral, muscle energy, strain, counter-strain, visceral manipulation, and further studies in Oriental body work. I can talk about Bill Philpot, Dr. Bill Philpot, from a personal perspective because I've actually been the beneficiary of his treatments via acupuncture, and they've really helped me a lot. So I'm really excited to talk to Dr. Bill, and that's what we affectionately call him, Dr. Bill, today, because he has so many different modalities from which to choose that he can, I guess, because he's extra sensitive and he also has all of this higher education with Oriental medicine and acupuncture and massage therapy, he really is in tune. With that, welcome, Dr. Bill.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really excited to talk to you. The name of your practice is actually the Optimum Health Center, and it is located in Venice, Florida, and that's actually how I met you. But let's talk a little bit about who you help and how you help them.
Well, it's a very wide range. Anything from shoulder pain, back pain, trouble with the internal organs, proper functioning, digestive issues, just not feeling centered, loss of concentration or mental strength and facilities. All of these are different areas that I treat the body with. And with that, you had mentioned before the number of different modalities. It's like sometimes during a treatment, I might use 4 or 5 different modalities to best treat the body so that it can release and come back to its normal or proper operating state that it was designed to operate from. A lot of times with our busy lifestyle and schedule, our body gets out of kilter or out of alignment. And with the different therapies that I do, turn around, it's like I can bring the body back into proper operating states, unless there is something, a heavy trauma, and then sometimes we just work with where the body's at to improve the function, to reduce pain.
Well, I know that when I saw you the first time, I think I had actually fallen down or slipped and did the butt bump down the stairs, and I was in a lot of pain. And I remember coming into you, and of course you talked to me and you did your overview, and then within the first treatment, I had significant pain relief in my hip and lower back area because, I walked in there like, let's say it was a 10, and I was down to a 2 after just the one treatment because you did do, I think, whatever it was that my body needed. It was a combination, I believe, of acupuncture and then of the body work. So let's focus a little bit about acupuncture because I know that a lot of people, they've heard of acupuncture and acupressure, but they're not really sure exactly how it works. Can you maybe describe a little bit about how acupuncture works in relieving some pain issues and helping you get back in balance?
Sure. A lot of times, it's like the acupuncture needles are placed in very specific points at different depths, depending on where the pathology is or the musculoskeletal issue is located at. And there's a series of acupuncture pathways, which are called meridians, that correspond to different internal organs, different particular points on the body to help relief. As the treatment that I just finished, I turn around, where you strengthen the kidney, the spleen. We did the master point of her upper and lower back, the master point of the tendons, along with particular points where she's having the issues with her body to help relieve the tendon, muscle, and the attachment point where it attaches at the bone to allow the body to release on a natural basis.
So acupuncture is part of the overall. So another thing, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm curious to hear more about it, is you actually do non-insertion acupuncture and something called an acu-facelift. I know those are two questions, but can you talk about what non-insertion acupuncture is, and then tell us more about these facelifts, because I know a lot of people are interested in that.
Yeah, they're great treatments, both of them. The non-insertion acupuncture, I initially got into it because people were needle shy. When I first got into the craft over 20 years ago, I was thinking, okay, where people are associating the acupuncture needles with the needles that they've gotten from their doctors when they're getting shot, there's sometimes some needle apprehension. Now, the acupuncture needles are much thinner, much finer, and generally people don't even feel them when they're inserted. The non-insertion is a style that was designed specifically initially for pediatrics. And after they came up with the style and the techniques and stuff, they found it was so clinically effective that they opened it up, for the rest of the clinic, just not pediatrics, but, for all age ranges and different types of pathologies. It was a 8-month postgraduate program that, we'd go, 1 weekend a month, for 3 or 4 days, and work with somebody that's been doing it and teaching it for many years to get these styles. And afterwards, after the 8-month completion and during the training, I was utilizing my background in osteopathic styled manual therapy with the non-insertion. And I've got a little thing that I tell people. It's like I could rub this point for 2 days, or I can put a little needle next to it and do some non-insertion and make it go away in 30 seconds. So most people are like, oh, okay, well, that's fine. So it's a very effective tool. One client in particular, she was walking one day and twisted her ankle. And I had seen her the next day just by chance, And she's on crutches. She had her ankle wrapped up. And we talked for a couple minutes, and then later on that day, I treated her. And it took me about 20 minutes doing the manual therapy and the non-insertion acupuncture. And it was like she never sprained her ankle. And months later, she still had no issues with it.
Wow. So if somebody... Go ahead.
She was amazed at the treatment and has been a large proponent of, what I can do to help people.
Well, I would certainly think so. I know that I'm one of those people. I run around and say, "Wow, you should go see Dr. Bill," because of the fact that I had such great relief. So the non-insertion acupuncture is really ideal for people who are a little bit apprehensive and afraid of needles, and at least they would get an acupuncture experience and then maybe be more open to doing the regular acupuncture. So tell me more about the facelifts and how that all works.
Oh, that's an amazing treatment. It was funny, when I was in acupuncture school, they used to call me the facelift guy because nobody wanted to do the facelift. And I was like, okay, well, the face is the most sensitive skin. It's got the most blood vessels, And it's like, okay. So I was like, oh, I'll do it, So turn around, I had a very high experiential level coming out of school, with that particular treatment. And, it's something that I use on myself. It was like I was getting a photograph from my driver's license, and I'm looking at my picture. I'm like, I look like Deputy Dog. Look at the jawline. I mean, really, I was like, I go back to the table where the lady's at. I'm like, I need an acu-facelift. She goes, yeah, so do I. I'm like, yeah, but I can do one. Mm-hmm. And the facelift, it consists of, the way it's set up is to do a series of 10 plus treatments, and it's set up for twice a week to get, to allow the body, especially the face and neck, to get the proper treatment so that it can shift. And what it does is, by using those specific acupuncture points, what it's doing is bringing more nourishment, moisturizer, and clearing the blockages that may have happened through the years. And generally, it's like people are like, well, how long does it last? And usually, I just seen a recent picture of someone that I worked on, 3 years ago. And she still looks great now. I did a tune-up on her about a year later. I think I did 1 or 2 treatments. And she still looks great. Me, myself, it's like I just, this past Saturday, I've been wanting for, about 6 weeks to get a treatment in. And finally, this past Saturday, I was like, I finally got it in. It's like, and I'm looking at my face later on that day. It's like, just happy as a lark because of the shift that occurs,
Wow.
Yeah, it's an amazing treatment. Since, the training with all of that, and then turn around, I've brought in, essential oils to use when appropriate. I also use standard with the treatment, a vitamin C and a collagen base, along with an infrasound machine, which I call my wrinkle remover. It's not really a wrinkle remover, but what it does is it helps promote more circulation in the face.
And what is that machine called?
An infrasound. It's like an ultrasound, but safer.
Oh, okay. So not only do you do the acupuncture and the body work and the facial, or facial acupuncture, you also do like skin treatments and facials and other rejuvenation treatments. So really you do, it's kind of, exactly the name of your business, Optimum Health Center, because you're dealing with the whole body from injuries all the way to, I guess, the beautification part or anti-aging, because that is one thing about our faces is that, like you said, if you can, do whatever that is and get the blood flow and the nourishment coming into your face, how wonderful would it be if you could avoid things like Botox injections or things like that, if you can do a treatment that is more natural and healthier based on, acupuncture points. I mean, some of these things that you do, it's so interesting to me because obviously I don't have a background in medicine, but it just really is fascinating to think about how our bodies have all of these built-in mechanisms for health, and you just have to understand how to unlock that body code, I guess, so that you don't have to age and be all wrinkly and saggy and, like you said, deputy dog like, because that's so fascinating. You also talk to people about their health and nutrition needs. So can you talk a little bit about that and how herbs and vitamins and different supplements can help with your overall health?
Oh, sure. With the herbs and supplements, it's like the body, you can't eat enough vitamins to nourish the body with what it needs. So the idea of the herbs, what that does is to specifically nourish the body or clear the body, pathologies, or to build up what's actually going on in the body structure. And with the supplements, the vitamins and minerals, I use that. It's like for me to get, the specific amount of vitamins that my body would need on a daily basis, I would have to be sitting at the table all day eating. And that really doesn't work for me. I can't eat that much food. So it's much easier for me to turn around and take a couple of supplements to allow my body to have the vitamins and mineral it needs as it needs it, instead of the body being deficient in a particular area and not having the nutrient that it needs to do the operation that it needs to do at that time.
Wow, that's really interesting because so obviously food, herbs, supplements, and then of course the physical body work. You also do some different classes, and you do go and speak to different groups. What are some of the classes that you offer locally?
Presently, all I'm doing is a Qigong class, which is Qigong is an aspect, a specific breathing pattern to turn around and to nourish the body with the breath. As a culture, we have a tendency to be very superficial breathers, meaning that we don't fill our lungs fully. Now, with the Qigong, it also utilizes creative visualization as far as bringing the energy to specific points in the body to allow the body to utilize as much oxygen as you take in on a regular basis.
I'm guilty of not being a good breather, which is something that you would think that it would be a natural ability, but I think you're absolutely right, especially, for example, sitting in front of a computer, we compress everything up because we're in that sitting position, and then unless you're consciously breathing, I find myself just probably doing the minimal of what I need to do. When you do speaking, I know obviously you can speak on many, many topics. Do you have any favorite topics that you really like to share with people when you go out and speak to groups?
Health and stress, looking younger, feeling better. I mean, those are the best ones. But it's like I get the most joy when somebody's in the clinic and it's like I'm doing the initial intake with them and I'm finding out what's going on with their body and, setting up a treatment protocol and how I'm going to go about, shifting their body from where it's at, to where they'd like it to be, to move it out of the pain, to move it out of the restricted functioning. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm one of those people that went from being a 10 level in lower back and hip pain to being like, whoa, I can walk without pain. And it was like, if you want to say miracle, that's what it was to me, because when you're in a lot of pain, of course, you're a little bit cranky. And so I know that it made a huge difference for me personally. So if somebody wanted to make contact with you, how would they go about making contact and using your services?
Well, initially, they might want to go to the website. I set a website up, drbillphilpot.com, and my phone number's there, the address is there. Everything is set up by appointment. So the best way to do it is to just give me a call and set up an appointment. Sometimes we talk a little bit about what's going on. Sometimes it's just people come in and then they tell me what's going on when they get here. And then, I have people all over the country that come down here, and while they're here, they make sure that they get in for a couple of treatments, which is a fabulous thing for them. And I'm very grateful to be able to, help them with their healthcare needs to kind of shift their body so that they can live more fully, moment to moment.
Well, I can certainly vouch for the fact that the Optimum Health Center and Dr. Bill Philpot really do whatever the magic is that you possess. I know that you can find, like if I have issues, it's like you find it. And it's always interesting to me that sometimes you'll find an issue that I was not even aware of, but then, of course, you can work on that and make it so that I feel a lot better. So everyone, it is www.Dr. Philpot, and that is Dr. Dr. BillPhilpot.com. So drbillphilpot.com. And the Optimal Health Center is located in Venice, Florida. And his phone number is 941-587-1288. And be sure you contact Dr. Bill. And if you have the opportunity, definitely go in and see him, because whatever the combination of Oriental medicine, acupuncture, and therapeutic body work, and whatever his other gifts are, he's definitely someone who can help you feel better. And I think that's really, really important. So, Dr. Bill, do you have anything else that you think people should know before I let you go?
Well, like you had mentioned early on, initially I got into all of this by laying on his hands, and I felt like I was being directed into the healing arts. First massage, and then when I was in massage, one of my instructors was like, "Oh, for the guys, you got to focus on rehabilitation if you want to make it." So that's what I did. And then a year and a half later, when I have done all this rehabilitation training, I'm doing the Oriental body work, and the instructor's like, you have to go to acupuncture school. And that was part of, I was kind of resistant because I had already spent tens of thousands of dollars with the other training that I'd been doing the past year and a half. And then, I went down and talked to them. They accepted me into the school, and then turned around the next phase, continued to develop. And I'm continually, I just finished 3 healing courses within the past 3 months. I've done a couple of visceral manipulation courses. One this year. I've got another one coming up in a couple months, 2 last year. So I stay pretty busy as far as continuing my education and continuing my knowledge base about how to be more effective with healing a person, one person at a time.
Well, like I said, and I know that you do a lot of continuing education, and you constantly have a book about some educational thing in your back pocket. So you're always up on the latest different treatments and technologies, and I really think people should really appreciate that, because that is one thing. If you're going to be looking for a service provider or a medical or a health provider, that is one of the things we all should be asking is, are you up to date on what's going on in your field? And Dr. Bill certainly keeps up on all of the continuing education. So again, drbillphilpot.com. You can go there and find out all kinds of really good information about Dr. Bill. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much.
This is Tammy Patzer. Go make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.